Okay, so the Irish man is kind of racing for the finishing line, and you're telling them to kind of slow down.
I'm not saying it's Irish, that thing. I think
All
it's,
men.
again, another
Even
thing.
Even Italian men? And French men?
Possibly even more, So it's more taking the time and connecting with each other, and more, giving energy to the other person. So if your partner loves you running a bath for her, you might, get that ready with a glass of champagne, few candles, creating a sacred space.
Oh, okay, creating a mood.
Yeah, creating an environment that love is shown in other ways, but just a quick, few minutes, and that's,
Yeah. Because you also then create a mood that perhaps you were never used to or hadn't seen for a long, long time.
That's right.
It's something that you might wish to go back to again or to repeat. Or
that's right.
I think one of the big people who were talking about tantric sex was Sting, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe
one of the big advocates of it.
He is, and
he claimed to be able to go for 4 or 5 hours, I think.
But I really don't think this could be a lot of Americanization of the whole thing. I followed many workshops, and I've met many people who deal with this, and it's more about the connectedness between people, and maybe inviting intimacy, which is lost to many people, after the first few years are finished, and that's why maybe there's a lot of divorce as well.
The spark goes after 5 or 6. They call it a 7-year ritual.
That's right, and I really want to also maybe invite people to really truly communicate, and true communication comes with trust. Trust comes with having time for each other, so maybe even just an hour, a couple time of an hour once a week, where the kids are doing something
locked in
when
the
they're
closet.
safe, yes. And there's, care and love being offered. And then communication can start to happen, and then intimacy can be reborn, And if lovemaking happens, well, that's wonderful, but that's not the aim, and that's not the target,
I was fascinated about a section of the book, I mean, because I'm under the constraints of time here, I've got about 4 minutes left.
Sure.
You talk about detoxing, you talk about fasting. At one stage you were talking about fasting for 5 days.
Yes, I do it.
Do you? But medically, is that not very dangerous?
There's school of thoughts for everything, Neil. There's school of thoughts for everything. Now, fasting is one of the oldest techniques in each tribe, and and the animals fast when they're not well, or they fast in the spring for renewal.
So what's it good for? I mean, to what end do we do it?
Fasting, largely, very quickly. Fasting is, there's a lot of energy taken around the digestion process, and the more kind of different foods you put in your body, the harder it is to digest. So even without going on a crazy fast, you could just simplify and do a monofast for 2 or 3 days, maybe just one type of vegetable once a day, or fruit, and the digestive system has less of a strain and a stress to process everything. Therefore, it's able, the intelligence in the body is absolutely amazing.
I would have thought it was about balance.
So
now,
it can reknit itself, and you might find that,
Do you feel your skin is different, or
you feel renewed,
more energy?
completely renewed, Neil. Actually amazing. It's an amazing experience.
Like, what do you use on your skin? Because it's immaculate, I have to say. I assume that there are creams you make yourself.
I make my own creams,
because
actually.
all of the creams are in the book.
I'm qualified aromatherapist for over 15 years, so I make my own potions at home, Simple things anyway, very simple things.
Because, I mean, do people remark on your skin? I wonder, does anybody ever say it?
Since the book a little bit, because it's gone out as anti-aging, but I mean, it's not the aim, I'm aging, and I'm proud and happy to age.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to every day that comes in, I'm not trying to avoid any issue,
Yeah, I know that the skin was very much a part of the book, because it's probably one of the...
That's where people are at.
Yeah. Is it the most important organ? I mean, we shed litres a day, don't we?
That's right. Yes, actually, our skin is our largest organ. We think of it as the bowel or other things, but it's not. It's the skin. Your skin is the barrier between your inner self and the outside world, so it's having to cope with a lot of stresses.
So why are men luckier than women with regards to their skin? Men's skin doesn't seem to age as fast.
Well, I don't think it's that, but I think, again, it's a different approach from judgment. I mean, an older man is always sexy looking, Salt and pepper hair is wonderful. Woman with salt and pepper hair and a few scars and wrinkles, that's not the comment that's going to go around if you,
And if you reach that stage, is that irreversible?
No, nothing is irreversible.
You got your Botox and your chemical peels.
Exactly. If you need to go and have a big freshener.
But nature can't reverse it, though.
No, nature won't reverse that,
Yeah, and the real enemies then, in part of the book, you talk about thieves, vampires, and tobacco. What does that mean?
I go on a little bit about energy thieves, you know, people that drain you. Do you know those people? You know, can be family, it can be dream thieves, it can be if you have ambition, if you believe in something that makes you feel good, if you want to do different things in your life. You may have people that begrudge that. You may have people that try and pull you down. You may have
this
people
is negative
that,
stuff
you know
that
what I
people
mean?
push
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
So it was a little bit of a joke, you know, just the dream thieves.
But people can drag you down.
Oh, but
though.
they do.
Certain
That's what
people
I mean.
will drain you.
As you become more conscious, you choose your friends maybe a little bit better, or you know, things change anyway. You know.
And finally, within about 20 seconds, you really believe, and actually I do too, that you know, if you wish for something hard enough, it will come to you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything is man-made. Everything we've built.
Even your
this
desires.
earth. Absolutely, absolutely, Neil. You know, this is all man-made. Everything we live in is a product of our imagination. So just imagine how much more you can do thinking slightly more positive.
And how do you do that? Think positive all of the time?
You, first of all, to become conscious and become more content with what we have, and instead of having the negative thoughts and the begrudging thoughts of things that has happened in the past that you cannot change, and things that will happen in the future which will never happen because we're forever in the present moment, when you start to base yourself a little bit more into that and start just thinking of what would be good for you, for your children, for your family, for the nation, depending what is the work you do. You know, if you're a politician, you're going to think different things from, you know, different people, but to just have positivity in mind.
Hard not to worry, though, isn't it? It's hard for people not to worry at 1 o'clock in the morning when you can't get to sleep.
But that doesn't do any good. Do you know what I mean? That's wasting energy. That's wasting mental energy.
Because you can't change it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly, you know.
Okay.
So it's more to do with the minute you're more present, the solutions come. I mean, there's one thing which is that you cannot change the world, you can't bring any new solution with the same mindset that created the problem. That's called insanity.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your own mindset.
Thanks.
Congratulations on the book
Neil.
Anti-Aging Secrets by Mahayana Isabel Dugast.
Thanks
you just
for having
got to
me.
say it again.
Thanks.
That's our program for this week. I'm Neil Prendeville. We'll see you soon.